What's up, YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. And in today's video, I'm going to be giving my prediction for the Auburn Tigers versus Arkansas Razorbacks. But if you haven't, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And by doing so, it greatly helps out my channel and it helps me grow as a content creator. We got another SEC matchup, guys, and the Arkansas Razorbacks go on the road to Auburn in Jordan-Hare Stadium. And this is going to be an interesting matchup, guys. I got the stats pulled up for the game, and of course, Arkansas. They have 4 wins on the season, but they have 3 losses. And Auburn has 3 wins with 4 losses on the season. So both teams didn't have, the season that they would like. But it's going to be an interesting matchup, nevertheless, guys. And of course, I'm going to start with Arkansas. They have KJ Jefferson. He's thrown for 1,463 yards on the season. He has 14 touchdowns and has 1 interception. So he's done exceptionally well for Arkansas this season. Dual threat guy, can run it and can pass the ball. A big guy to bring down as well. So it's going to be interesting to see what he does in this matchup. On the flip side, Auburn has Robbie Ashford. He stepped in since TJ Finley has been injured. And so far he has 1,014 yards on the season. He has 4 touchdowns, but he has 5 interceptions. Like I said, not so good, quarterback in the team, but he definitely has some legs, guys, and he can definitely extend plays when he's playing. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens, in the matchup. Of course, Arkansas has Rocket Sanders, beast of a player. He has 870 yards on the season with 7 touchdowns. Auburn has Tank Bigsby, and he has 524 yards with 6 touchdowns. So both teams got bruising running backs, guys, that can, like bowling balls, they can run you over and run hard on both sides. So it's going to be fun watching this matchup. Of course, Arkansas has Jaden Hasselwood from Oklahoma, the transfer. He has 406 yards with 2 touchdowns. Great player. And then, of course, Auburn has Javarius Johnson. And he has 335 yards and a touchdown. So both teams, guys, they're kind of almost similar, as far as, style of play. Like they like to play. They like to run the ball and play defense, have great defensive line. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Arkansas is averaging 32.7 yards a game. Auburn is averaging 22.3 yards a game. So Arkansas has the advantage in scoring more points. Arkansas is allowing 32.6 yards a game, and Auburn is allowing 28.3 yards a game. So Auburn is allowing a couple of points less, points a game than Arkansas. Total yardage, Arkansas is averaging 488 yards, and Auburn is averaging 377 yards. So Arkansas is the better offensive team. If we were to break that down, total yardage, 248 yards through the air for Arkansas passing-wise, and they're averaging 240 yards on the ground. Very balanced team, guys. They can pass in there and run it both efficiently. Auburn, on the other hand, they're averaging 207 yards passing, and they're averaging 170 yards on the ground. So not where you would want, total yardage to be. Most teams nowadays are averaging right there around that 500-yard range as far as total offense. So Arkansas is right there. Auburn's kind of off a couple of 100 yards or so. But Arkansas has the advantage there. Total yards allowed, Arkansas is allowing 457 yards. That's 315 yards through the air, and that's 141 on the ground. So this matchup, Auburn, like I said, is not a really good passing team right now, but they definitely can run the ball. So Arkansas is going to have to circle that, make sure they can bottle up Tank Bigsby and Robbie Ashford, running the ball. On the flip side, Auburn is allowing 391 yards total game, and they're allowing 186 through the air. And they're averaging 204 on the ground. So Auburn's going to have to watch out for Rocket Sanders running the ball, So, of course, KJ Jefferson can pass too. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in this matchup. Now, I'm looking at the teams that both teams played. Like I said, Arkansas was a team that I was very, very high on this season. Like I said, they took a loss to Texas A&M. They lost 23-21. a game they should have won, guys. They turned the ball over, and Texas A&M is one of those teams, like, well, any team in the country, like, if you give them opportunities, they can turn them to points, and that's exactly what happened in that matchup against Texas A&M. They was able to get a 2-point victory over them, but a game Arkansas should have won. Then, Arkansas hosted Alabama at home, and Alabama came out, on fire. They put up, like, I think at one point it was 28-0 or something like that. But then Arkansas fought back. They got back in the game, but then Alabama was able to run away with it with 2 huge runs, and that basically sealed the game against Arkansas. So, and then, of course, Arkansas lost to Mississippi State 40-17. Big loss to them. They had to play in Mississippi, and the cowbells, it's very, very loud, and Mississippi State had the advantage there, home field advantage, and Arkansas just wasn't able to get up for that game. And I think in that game, KJ Jefferson didn't play, so it was already kind of limping into that game at the offensive side of the ball. They lost that game. Then they got a huge victory against BYU. They beat them 52-35. So KJ Jefferson was able to come back, and I think he had a head injury. Now he's back. On the flip side, Auburn, they lost to Penn State. 41-12, got blown out by Penn State at home, and that was a huge loss for Auburn. They squeaked out a win against Missouri, a game Missouri, should have won that game. The guy dropped the ball right before he went over the plane, and they would have lost that game, in my opinion, to Mizzou. But they got the victory there, 17-14. Then they lost to LSU, 21-17. Played LSU really, really good, but they took a loss there. Took a huge loss to Georgia, the number 1 team in the country, 42-10. They had to go on the road to Athens, and Athens is a hard place to play, and they lost there. And now they're coming off a loss to Ole Miss, 48-34. They played at Ole Miss, so Ole Miss had the advantage there, but they was in that game. They was able to put up 34 points, but still fell. Lost the game. So if I had to give my prediction for the game, like I said, I'm looking at the stats, and they currently have Arkansas at 3.5 point spread. I could definitely see that. Either team can win this game, in my opinion. But if I'm looking at the wins, Arkansas, in my opinion, is the better team. They're going on the road, though. Auburn is a hard place to play. I know as an Alabama fan, and Auburn's going to give it their all, but I think overall Arkansas is the better team, as far as talent-wise at this moment. Arkansas has a bruising running game, and like I said, KJ Jefferson is a big guy. It's hard to take, down once he takes off. He can pass it and run the ball. And don't get twisted. I think Auburn is gonna have some success in the run game, against Arkansas. I can see Robbie Ashford having some success passing the ball as well. Arkansas secondary is not that good, and I could definitely see him make some plays. But with all that being said, I wrote down my prediction. I got Arkansas winning 35-31. I think it's going to be a close game. At the spread, like I said, 3.5 points. They think it's going to be a close game as well. But I trust KJ Jefferson and Rocket Sanders and the skill players, on Arkansas. Like I said, Auburn may have some success throwing the ball. And they can definitely have some success running the ball, but overall, I just see Arkansas win the game. But what do you guys think? Leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. And once again, guys, if you haven't, please like, share, subscribe to the channel. And I'll definitely be back with more college football content. Thanks, guys, and Roll Tide.